What's up, guys? How's it going? MikeTheTech here, and we have another great camera setup for you, a security system by CAMSTRO, and it uses the CAM app. If you've used that before, this is a very, very cool setup with 4K video across both cameras and a base hub, so you can store all that video data off the camera itself without having to pay for cloud services. That is really, really cool. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at what's inside, because there's quite a bit in here. This is a 2-camera system with 64 gigs of internal storage on that base hub, and it is completely solar powered. I'm gonna have to get a knife. I can't actually open this. So 64 gigs of storage on the base hub, which means it's going to store quite a bit before it runs out. And of course, you can set it to looping so that once it runs out of storage, it goes to the oldest video and deletes that when it continues going on. So you won't have to worry about it just stopping recording all of a sudden and not having recent events. So we'll go ahead and open this up. Oh, I forgot to mention, it does have 64 gigs of internal storage, but it also has a micro SD card slot in the base station itself, so you can add an extra micro SD card up to 128 gigabytes. All right, so we have a user manual. We've got some mounting guides, which you can stick onto the wall so that you know where the screws go. So the cameras are reminiscent of other similar third-party cameras. I've seen a few of these like this, and they do a really good job. Of course, these are newer models because they are 4K and 8 megapixel versions of that, which mine were not. Mine were 1080p, so it's nice to see that there's a new version of this here, and I'm definitely going to be upgrading the ones in my home. Let me try and open this. So when you open it on top, you can see we have the power button and the reset button here, and then it just closes back up. It's nice and weatherproof. And then on the back, we have the USB-C port, which is also weatherproof, and you can pop out this center portion just like that. That way you can actually have the USB-C cable always plugged in, and it will still be semi-weatherproof. Each one of these has a battery built into it, and it connects to the base station, and the base station connects to Wi-Fi. And of course, they've given us 2 cameras. And with those 2 cameras, we are getting 2 sets of solar panels. So very long cables on the solar panels, the perfect fit for that weatherproof port. And you're basically going to mount these in order to catch the sun, and that's going to keep these charged during the day. And then once nighttime comes and there's no more sun out, it's going to run off of the battery and keep it running through the night. And it's just going to keep on going like that. You should never have to charge them. Or if you do, it's going to be like once a month or once every few months or longer, because, I mean, if you have really bad weather, you might have to charge it more. But as long as you've got good access to the sun, you're going to have these 24/7 online without having to recharge anything. And of course, they've given us all the mounting hardware. The mounting hardware is very easy to use. You mount this onto the wall first, and this is where the camera goes. It just slides right in, just like that, and then it pops in. Don't worry, it might seem like, oh no, you just popped it in. How are you going to get it out? Well, you just pull it out. It's not that hard. You can take them down to charge whenever you want, but that's how they work. I'll go ahead and put the other one on. And you might be wondering, well, what are these for, these little tripod mounts? Well, you mount these onto the wall, and this is what's actually going to hold your solar panel. So all you do is you twist this, and you've got a wall mount for your solar panel. The cool thing about this is you can adjust it at any angle. It has a ball joint on it, and then you can tighten it at that angle so that it stays wherever you need it to stay. Obviously, I didn't tighten it very well, but you can get it to stay wherever you need it to stay. That's pretty cool. We are given a plethora of cables here. So we have a power cable. This is a 12 volt, 1 amp, 12 watt power cable in case you lose it. That goes to the base station. We have a USB A to C cable, another USB A to C cable for the 2 cameras. We have an Ethernet cable, I assume for the base station to connect directly to the internet rather than Wi-Fi, which is pretty nice because you get a stable connection and a fast connection there. And then here is the device itself, a lot smaller than I assumed it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a really large kind of base station because of the pictures, honestly, not any other reason. But it's actually pretty small. So let me look in here. It looks like there's already an SD card in here. We've got the Ethernet port, we have the sync button, and we have a USB port here for added storage if you want to attach a external hard drive or something like that, so you don't have to worry about having a SD card slot. So very, very cool offering from CAMSTRO. I'm excited that these are actually 4K cameras this time. Most of my cameras are 2K or 1080p, so this is going to be a nice upgrade for sure. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for CAMSTRO for sending this out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you want to pick one of these up, click the link in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Peace.